I have followed Vidbir in the first semi-final and the second semi-final. I think the judges and the public selected the best six. I have obviously my favorite three, which I'm not going to divulge, but you will understand from the conversation as we go along, which are my favorite, where I think you can do in Lisbon, of course. As regards to Waiting by Loud and the production, it's quite similar to Human, but it's not the same. It's not the same. But the music and the beat quickly reminds me of Rag and Bone Man, the song Human. I think rather than copying, it's better to be innovative. But it's good to have ideas coming from successful songs. That's my impression. You need to listen to the song a few times to remember the song. And this is a trick. It's actually a factor that when someone listens to a song and remembers it, it's a factor which is very important in the Eurovision bubble, you know. It makes the song very important for the public, you know, that they remember the song and they can recall the melody at least, or the chorus of the song. You know, if that factor works, then you stand a lot of success. Diana is there, and she knows the stage. She understood what is required at the Eurovision Song Contest, not just in Ukraine, but I think she can picture herself on the big stage. Now it's Lisbon this year. She is using her mother tongue. I love that. I like it. I love the fact that Diana is singing in Ukrainian. It's not easy for me to understand Ukrainian, but I could understand that Diana is singing about love. Actually, her expression is telling me, even the up-tempo song is leading me to believe that she's singing about a love. She gives me a very good feeling. She makes me want to stand up and dance. Her song is very catchy. And as a foreigner, I find it fascinating how an artist singing in a foreign language that I cannot understand still can connect perfectly well with me. I find that very professional from Diana. I think she stands a very good chance to do well, not only in Ukraine, but also in Lisbon. So good luck with that. And one most important factor is that she masters the very high notes while she's dancing. I believe she is a complete performer, and she certainly stands out among all the finalists in Vidbir 2018. I think an artist has the choice to accept the press or to avoid the press. Nevertheless, we are talking about Melovin. He is popular in Ukraine and other countries, neighboring countries, because of the X Factor. But we are not talking about an international artist, like, for instance, let me go back to Anouk, who represented the Netherlands in 2013. Well, I remember very well that Anouk didn't want to meet the press, but for obvious reasons. Anouk didn't need the support of the press because she is famous, I can say, worldwide. In this case, I think, it's my opinion, I stand to be corrected, but I think Melovin is not doing the right thing. He should accept the press. The press will be helping him, will be promoting him, will be informing the public about the skills of Melovin, about the song, about giving him advice about his performance and what he can do better. So in this case, when you compare Melovin to someone like Anouk, I think Melovin can do better. He comes out as a little bit arrogant, in my opinion. And additionally, I think he needs to improve on the diction in English. Overall, my opinion of Melovin, he is still very young. He still has a way to go. He is very skilled and he can go miles, but he needs to listen a little bit more. He doesn't live in a bubble of his own. He lives in a world made of music and musicians and followers and press and fans. So Melovin, it's up to you. Let me start with a positive note about Kadnaya. I think their style, their pop-funk style of music is very innovative for Eurovision, so that's a good point, so 10 points for that. However, the style might not appeal to a lot of Eurovision followers. In fact, I find that they have not progressed much from last year. It's a very similar style, it's a very similar song. Beat of the Universe starts in a very nice way. It really attracts me the moment it starts. So when you hit the first note, it's an attractive song. But after a while, it loses me due to a lot of repetition. Though Kadnai scored quite well in the semi-final, however, I don't see them progressing to Lisbon, unfortunately. That's my opinion, though. Who knows? She's like a fairy. I think Vilna is a professional singer. She is really very strong vocally, and she amazes me on stage. And her voice is magical. So that's 12 points for Vilna on that side, on the vocal abilities. Her costume is also very stunning. But then let's face it, we've seen it and heard it all before. She may have impressed the public in Ukraine and getting a lot of votes, but I fear the song may go unnoticed in the semi-final in Lisbon. Because we've seen it before, it's not something new. There are not many innovative ideas, not even the show itself. And the kind of song, you know, it actually reminds me of a recent junior Eurovision entrant. It's Sokal in 2014 from Belarus. It's a very similar stage performance and the same type of folk song, you know. So, but you need to hear it a number of times until you get into the song. And unfortunately, although there are a lot of Eurovision fans, the majority of the people that follow Eurovision will only watch and see Eurovision on the night. And if they don't hear it a couple of times before and they get hooked to the rhythm, then the song will not be successful. I think, first and foremost, the name Heroes reminds me of Mons. I wouldn't go in the semi-final, I wouldn't go in a national final with a name of a song that has already won the Eurovision Song Contest. Another thing is that even though they scored fairly well with the public, and they have a nice package on stage, and the staging and vocals are nice, I think the ability to connect with the public is a little bit missing, especially with the lead vocalist. I couldn't understand a lot of the words, and I had to look for the lyrics to understand what she was singing. The three parts on stage, they were working on the same project, but in a separate manner. I didn't see them connecting together. I see it going forward, but with a number of changes, especially the body language, the connection on stage to the public, connection with the cameras, connection between the team on stage. I see a lot of improvements before this can go to Lisbon. Actually, this was my personal opinion of Vidbeer 2018. I think there are 3 out of the 6 that stand out more than the others. May the best song win, that's all. And good luck from Malta. Malta will be watching you. Big hello to everyone in Ukraine and to all the Eurovision followers and Vidbeer followers. Big hello from Malta and good luck for Saturday.